Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start chapter number 1. Yes, that is the number systems. Okay, so we'll start with number systems. Now you must have done this number systems. You must have started in the earlier classes. So I hope you do remember the first one. Now we'll go a little bit to the history of the number system. So what is the history of the number system? In ancient times, yes, people wanted to know their possessions and everything. For example, if a shepherd took their sheep for grazing, so when he took the sheep for grazing into the forest, into the plain lands, and he returned back, he wanted to know how many sheep have come back. So he must have devised a system of counting the sheep. So when you start counting, you start counting by saying 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So we start counting from 1. So this counting numbers were called natural numbers. So natural numbers were the first set of numbers used by humans. Right? But it is not necessary that they use 1, 2, 3, 4 only. There is an Arabic numeral system, we have got an Indian system. So in Gujarati you write differently, in Hindi you write differently. But we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4. These are counting numbers. So everywhere around the world, in Babylonia, in Egypt, in India, in China, they did the counting work and the counting numbers started from 1, which we call natural numbers. This is for the counting part. So I hope you are understanding where the people introduced the natural numbers. So natural numbers came into being for counting. So people who have got some goods with them, they go to the market to trade goods. To count how much goods they have, they used to count using the natural numbers. So this gave rise to natural numbers. If we dwell further, then there were civilizations, some tribal chief who gave protection to the village, to the people and got a tax in return. So just like today, we have got a taxation system. In the ancient times, there must be a taxation system. So how was the tax taken? The tax was taken based on the goods or based on the property a person has. Now how do you count the property? So they must have got a list. Say the number of cows a person has. So if a person has got no cow, then what should be written there? If there is no cow, it is indicated by 0. So notation of 0 was given by Aryabhatta, but the concept of 0 was during the Babylonian times. The concept of 0 was there, but it was not used until Aryabhatta gave the notation of 0. So the concept was there. So then, if we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, this gives us what we call the whole numbers. Yes? So the counting numbers are natural numbers, and I told you why 0. So when you are counting something and you want to show that it does not exist, so what do you show? 0. How many cows does a person have? If the number of cows the person has is not shown, you can show it by a 0. Yes? So we have two number systems which worked during ancient times. So this was for the counting purpose. How much goods a person has, maybe a trader or a farmer. And the whole numbers came into writing down. So if a person had got no cows, then it was indicated at 0. Now why are these called whole numbers? You can understand. 1, 2, 3 are counting numbers. Whole number means the numbers are a whole, not a part of the whole. For example, I told you we are counting the number of cows. So the person can have 0 cows with no cows, he can have 4 cows, he can have 10 cows, he can have 100 cows. He cannot have 3.5 cows. He cannot have 4.5 cows, or he cannot have 7.5 cows. Okay? These are whole numbers. So there are certain things where you count, always in whole. Number of boys in the class, number of girls in the class, number of mangoes in the basket, they are always counted as whole numbers. You can have half a mango, but it is usually not count it, you count by whole numbers. After this whole numbers, the next one. So here you can understand. Now I would like to explain to you why numbers. People had cows, people had sheep, people domesticated horses, kings had armies, so armies had people. So why this number system came? Number system makes it easy to add and subtract. You can always do mathematical operation on numbers, add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them. So everything started to be indicated by numbers. Are you following? Then distance between two places was measured in the own number system. So you could know the distance you traveled, how much distance left to travel. So understand this very well. A number system, because natural numbers and whole numbers have done two number systems, but numbers is trying to explain the world in mathematical form, because you can do mathematical operations only on numbers. Okay? Now we move to the third one. This is also an indication. For example, you have done the number line in previous classes. What does the number line tell you? Yes? So we have got this 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I indicate by a number line from the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to infinity. Okay, this is a number line. Now there came times in mathematics when we wanted to show the opposite direction of numbers also. For example, if our positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 indicated north, we wanted a system opposite which would indicate south. Yes? Is it clear to you? Something showing opposite direction. If I took the east as positive indication, in the opposite direction the west would show, yes, in the opposite direction. Similarly, if I had profit in any system as positive, the opposite would show me the loss. Now what does the opposite mean here? So opposite means opposite in direction, but by how much value? So let us see. So if I place the mirror exactly on 0, if I place the mirror exactly on 0, I would get the reflection of this line in the mirror. So if I place the mirror at 0, I would get the reflection. So this would show as 1, this would show the reflection as 2, this would show as 3, this would show as 4. Yes? This is the reflection in the mirror. Now, the opposite side was indicated by a minus. So this became a -1, a -2, a -3 and a -4. So let me tell you what the minus sign here means. So you have the negative numbers 0 along with the positive numbers forms the integers. What does it form? The integers. The natural numbers are indicated by n, whole numbers by w, integers by z. Now let me tell what integers mean. When you say a person has walked 5 steps to the north, so he is walking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to the north. When I say a person has walked -3 steps to the north, so what does -3 steps to the north mean? -3, let me write here, -3 steps to the north. So we got 3 steps, but the minus shows the opposite. So what is the opposite to north? Opposite to north is the south. So when we say -3 steps north, actually means 3 steps to the south. So is it clear to you? Are you understanding what is the negative sign mean? -3 steps north would mean 3 steps to the south. A profit of -10 rupees actually means a loss of 10 rupees. So negative number means the opposite in sign. So if you got a positive number 4, the opposite number is -4. So if I say a profit of -10 rupees actually means a loss of 10 rupees. Walking -3 steps north actually means walking 3 steps to the south. So the minus shows the opposite. Opposite of north is south, opposite of east is west, opposite of profit is loss. So we have the integers. So we have got the natural numbers, we have got the whole numbers, we have indicated the word. What is natural numbers? Number of trees, number of boys, number of mangoes, number of cows. Whole numbers indicates whether they exist or not in wholes. So there is also a whole number. It does not exist, we call it a zero. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and the opposite of that is minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have got the same distance, same magnitude, just the opposite in direction. So like things like profit and loss, north and south, you can think of other opposites also indicated by a negative number. Now you will see that everything need not be indicated in whole numbers also. Sometimes, for example, you have gone to a pizza parlor. Yes? Have you been to a pizza parlor with your family and with your friends? Or say you have ordered a large pizza online. You have ordered a large pizza online. Yes, the pizza delivery guy has brought you the large pizza. Large pizza is cut into 8 slices. Now you may not eat all the 8 slices. So let us say out of this one pizza you ate 3 slices. You have eaten 3 slices. So I have shaded the 3 slices of pizza you have eaten. So what is the amount of pizza you have eaten? You have eaten 3/8 of the pizza. How much have you eaten? You have eaten 3/8 of the pizza. What does 3/8 of the pizza mean? You don't eat the whole pizza. There is one whole pizza. Yes? And out of that whole large pizza you had 3 slices. So this whole pizza was divided into 8 parts, out of which you ate 3. So the shaded portion shows you 3/8. Means 3 pieces out of 8. Clear? So this is a fraction. So fractions are indicated by numbers called rational numbers. So we have got the next set of numbers called rational numbers. They are in the form p by q. So you can see 3 by 8, 3 is p, 8 is q, and q can never be 0. Remember, in this numerator and denominator can never be 0. Why it can never be 0? Because anything upon 0 is not defined. Okay? So here I have got a rational number in the form p by q. Now suppose, let us say you ordered smaller pizzas of different flavors. Yes? And they are cut into 8 parts also. Now remember, see, both the pizzas have to be cut into 8 parts. Now you are so hungry that you do not wait for anyone. You finish one whole pizza, and from the second pizza also you finish 5 pieces. Yes, so hungry you are that you finish the whole pizza. So how much have you eaten here? You have eaten one whole pizza, one integer, and the second pizza you have eaten 5/8. So one integer 5 by 8 would mean you have eaten one whole pizza, and the other pizza you have eaten 5 pieces out of 8. Now here you should remember that both the pizzas should be equal in size, so both are cut into 8 equal pieces. So this is an example to show that every time we do not deal with whole numbers. Sometimes we deal with fractions, and fractions give rise to rational numbers. Now with rational numbers, the p and the q, yes, they can be any integer from here. P can be negative, 0, positive. Q can be positive or negative, but Q cannot be 0. So this is one more number system we call the rational numbers. Yes? After we are done with the rational numbers, there are some numbers which do not fit into this category. Yes? All numbers cannot be shown as P by Q. So, there is a new number system we need to start in the 9th standard. these are called irrational numbers. So now if you have understood the number system, we are introducing one more number system called irrational numbers. So in this 9th standard now, I hope I have given you a brief clear introduction of the number system. Next is we are going to begin with irrational numbers. Before I proceed to the irrational numbers, we have to do something about a rational number. Say we have to introduce 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. So this is a part of the first exercise in your textbook, exercise 1.1. Find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. So you can see we have got numbers 3 and 4. Yes, can you see the numbers 3 and 4? Now these are natural numbers you can call, or whole numbers or integers. Now between 3 and 4, how many rational numbers can you put? 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6. They are all rational numbers. How? You can see. I write here 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Yes, there are decimal fractions between 3 and 4. 3.1 can be written as 31 upon 10. You have learned this. When there is one digit after the decimal point, you put 1 0. This is 32 upon 10, 33 upon 10, and so on. Yes? So how do we do this? So there are two methods to do it. Let us learn both the methods. Okay? So first I will do the method the book has shown, and then we'll do the other method. Now, 3 and 4. So between 3 and 4 we can write 3 plus 4 upon 2. So what is 3 plus 4? 7. So we get this number as 7 upon 2. So 7 upon 2 lies between 3 and 4. But there is only one rational number, I want 6. So now I find what comes between these two. So what I do? 3 plus 7 upon 2. How do you solve this? The LCM is 2. So you multiply by 2. 2 3s are 6. 6 plus 7, 13. So I get 13 upon 2. In the same way on this side, 7 upon 2 plus 4. So 2 4s are 8. 8 plus 7, 15. 15 upon 2. Then we will find between 13 by 2 and this. So 3 plus 13 by 2. 2 3s are 6. 6 plus 13 is 19. So I get 19 upon 2. And 13 plus 7 is 20. Yes? Are we getting it right? Sorry, this is not the way to do it, because you see the fractions has to be divided by 2 again. So we have done a mistake here. Let's correct it. We have to do 3 plus 7 by 2 the whole upon 2. So 3 2s are 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. So 13 upon 2. And this goes into numerator, becomes 1 upon 2. So we should get 13 upon 4. In the same way here we should get 15 upon 4. Now adding this 2. 4 3s are 12. 12 plus 13, 25. 25 upon 4 upon 2 is 25 upon 8. On this side, 4 4s are 16. 16 plus 15, 31. 31 upon 4 upon 2 is 31 upon 8. So we have to find numbers, we need one more number. Now, this is 2 and this is for the LCM. We multiply by 4. So we have 13. 7 4s are 28. 28 plus 13, 41. I have to multiply by 2, sorry. 7 2s are 14. 14 plus 13, 27. 27 upon 4 upon 2. That is 27 upon 8. So this is the way we add the numbers. But there is an easier way to do it. So let us see what is the easier way. There is no gap between 3 and 4. So what do? I multiply this by 10 and divide by 10. Multiply by 10 and divide by 10. Why multiply and divide by 10? Because the 10 gets cut, the number remains unchanged. Right? So now this number has become 30 upon 10. This number is become 40 upon 10. Now what comes between 30 and 40? So 31 upon 10, 32 upon 10, 33 upon 10, 34 upon 10, 35 upon 10, 36 upon 10, 37 and so on. So this way, because I have to insert 6 numbers, I multiply with 10. What if I have to insert 20 numbers, say 15 numbers? To insert 15 numbers, I would have multiplied by 20. Would it work? Multiply by 20. Let us check. We multiply by 20. So now this has become 30 to the 60. 60 upon 20. And this has become 80 upon 20. So there is a gap of 20 now. So you can put 15 numbers. 61 upon 20, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 71, 72 up to 80. So when you have to put more numbers, you have to just multiply that number and insert those numbers into the gap. So this is exercise 1.1. I want you to finish this exercise. It is inserting rational numbers between rational numbers. Okay? And now we can proceed to our irrational numbers. A simple definition would be when you cannot write a number in the P by Q form. You cannot write a number in the P by Q form. Not. So when you cannot write a number into a P by Q form, that is called an irrational number. So we have done natural numbers, whole numbers, integers and rational numbers. Rational numbers could be written in the form P by Q. But those numbers which cannot be written in the form P by Q are called irrational numbers. Now can you think of any numbers which cannot be written in the form P by Q? So the numbers like root 2, root 3, root 5, yes, root 6 and so on. If you try to write them, you will see you cannot write them in P by Q form. So such numbers are called irrational numbers. So to justify, you can say that rational numbers are terminating decimals or non-terminating recurring decimals are rational numbers. Irrational numbers are non-terminating, non-recurring decimals. What does this mean? We'll do it tomorrow in the next lecture. Meanwhile, I want you to finish exercise 1.1 from the textbook. I will send you the link. Yes, so please finish it. So this is the number systems we have done so far. Natural numbers are counting numbers. Whole numbers indicates whole, not fractions. Integers are designed to show the opposite direction. So we have got positive integers and the negative are in the opposite direction of the positive, like I told you, north and south, east and west, profit and loss. And we even saw rational numbers in the form P by Q. So those numbers which we cannot write in the form P by Q are irrational numbers. They were introduced because in some places we needed to know the roots of certain equations. Yes, so they were introduced. Tomorrow we are going to go into irrational numbers. So we will first see rational numbers in the form of terminating decimals or non-terminating recurring decimals and non-terminating non-recurring decimals we are going to do tomorrow. So kindly revise this today. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.